New Zealand has given nearly $10 million to help Samoa tackle climate change and boost its economy in the first stop of Jacinda Ardern's inaugural visit to the Pacific as Prime Minister. It's part of the government's so-called Pacific reset of foreign policy, which comes amid concerns about China's growing influence in the region. Ms Ardern, Foreign Minister Winston Peters and a delegation of business leaders and MPs arrived in Samoa today, starting off the annual Pacific mission trip. Our political reporter, May Heron, is also there.
A sudden downpour in Apia sent the media and delegations scrambling, though it stopped just in time for Jacinda Ardern to inspect the Guard of Honour. It was a smooth start to her whirlwind Pacific mission trip, where she has the task of building relationships with a country that is now receiving money from all parts of the world. Ms Ardern has spent a lot of time in the Pacific, though this is only her second time in Samoa.
I've been called a daughter of Niue. Please don't take that personally. And anyway, you can be the daughter of many places.
In her first official meeting with the Samoan Prime Minister, Tuila Ipa Sailili, discussions focused heavily on cyclone recovery, resilience and climate change. Ms Ardern pledged more money to help the country clean up after Cyclone Gita, in particular to clear up an unprecedented landslide.
The extra geotechnical work that needed to be done, work on infrastructure, so our hope is that as you identify those needs, that additional $3 million will go in some way to helping with the recovery and building resilience.
The Prime Minister said help also needed to come in a wider form.
We know we need to do our part, but collectively I think we have a role to play in advocating on behalf of the Pacific together in an international forum as well.
Ofira Fa'asu grew up in Moata, a small village on the seaside. There, climate change is very real. She says parts of a walkway connecting the village to the main road now sit underwater, and in high tide, the village is effectively cut off.
It's very heartbreaking because this is where our parents grew up, and then us, and they've worked their whole lives to try and sustain our village, and now the responsibility is in our hands.
She wants New Zealand to invest more.
Make it easy for communities to go and tap into resources, financial resources, and also technical expertise, because villages don't have access to that.
Jacinda Ardern says the Pacific trip will be about asking different countries about the best ways to support them as concerns around climate change grow. While New Zealand is figuring out the best way to help in that area, questions were also asked today about China's influence in Samoa. China has loaned Samoa tens of millions of dollars to build a new airport, hospital and various sporting grounds. The Samoan Prime Minister dodged answering multiple questions about China's influence and would not go into any details, particularly around the size of the country's debt.
I'm sorry I cannot give you now. I'm not the Minister of Finance anymore, and I'm getting old.
Foreign Minister Winston Peters has voiced concerns about the Pacific attracting an increasing number of external actors, widely seen as a reference to China's growing influence. Today he chose not to criticise other countries for putting money into the Pacific, but instead reiterated New Zealand's role.
We are the cousins of people here, all the way to Hawaii. It's in our DNA, it's a fact. And we intend to ensure that they understand that more powerfully than ever before.
New Zealand also pledged to contribute $6.5 million to boost employment and invest in small businesses in Samoa. Jacinda Ardern will visit Niue tomorrow, where her father is